Welcome to Atlantis, the most mysterious city in history. 12,000 years ago, beneath the endless expanse of the ocean, an entire city vanished. Not just any city, it was a civilization brimming with monumental temples, glittering palaces, and millennia of knowledge. Then, in a single night, it disappeared beneath the waves, leaving behind nothing but whispers, myths, and a name that has captivated imaginations ever since. Atlantis. Pause for a moment and imagine it. History books often recount the rise and fall of empires like Egypt, Mesopotamia, Greece, and Rome. Yet, long before these civilizations flourished, there existed another society, one whose architecture, technology, governance, and artistry were unparalleled. And then, abruptly, in a cataclysmic event, this civilization was swallowed by the ocean. This isn't just a story, it's humanity's lost memory. Whether we realize it or not, Atlantis is not merely about a sunken city. It's about the fragility of civilization, the vulnerability of knowledge, and the terrifying possibility of sudden annihilation. So, settle into your chair, pour yourself a cup of tea or coffee, and let your mind drift back 12,000 years. We're about to journey into an era before recorded history, before fully established cities, even before the invention of writing. In the middle of the Atlantic, where no island now rises above the waves, a remarkable civilization thrived. They mastered the seas, charted the stars, traded across continents, and endured for millennia, until that fateful night. The story of Atlantis reached the world through the Greek philosopher Plato, who lived between 430 and 347 BCE. In his dialogues, Timaeus and Critias, he described Atlantis not as a myth, but as an actual historical account, passed down to him from the priests of Egypt via the statesman Solon. According to these sources, the city existed beyond the Pillars of Hercules, somewhere in the Atlantic, larger than Libya and Asia combined, with countless cities, armies, and peoples. At its center was a concentric arrangement of canals surrounding a central hill topped with temples and palaces, walls sheathed in gold, silver, and a mysterious metal called orichalcum, whose properties are still debated today. Solon learned of Atlantis during his visit to Egypt around 600 BCE, where the priests told him that the Greeks were too young to understand history. Their records barely scratch the surface of human antiquity. Egypt's own archives contained accounts dating back 8,000 years, including references to Atlantis. Here, Plato's tale becomes far more than a Greek story. It's an echo of ancient knowledge preserved across civilizations. And then, in one night, Atlantis was gone. Earthquakes and floods consumed it, and the island sank beneath the sea. Could such sudden destruction really occur? Geologists tell us it can. Around 12,000 years ago, during the end of the last ice age, the planet experienced dramatic climate upheavals. Glaciers melted, sea levels surged, and coastlines were reshaped in decades. Not millennia, entire islands vanished. These natural events, perfectly aligned with Plato's timeline, suggest that the legend of Atlantis might be rooted in actual geological catastrophe. Modern science adds more layers. Sonar scans and seabed mapping in the Atlantic have revealed structures that are oddly geometric, some resembling walls or platforms. Are these natural formations or the remains of a lost civilization? The truth remains elusive, but the clues accumulate. Beyond Plato, cultures across the globe recount similar tales. The Aztecs spoke of a sunken island called Aztlan, Mayan codices reference distant lands swallowed by water. Ancient Indian texts describe civilizations submerged beneath the sea. Even flood myths like Noah's story, Zeusudra in Sumer, and Manu in India may trace back to the same cataclysm. Researchers like Graham Hancock argue that 12,000 years ago, humanity was far more advanced than commonly believed, and that a sophisticated civilization was wiped out by Ice Age catastrophes, leaving only fragments of knowledge scattered across the world. Göbekli Tepe, constructed in modern-day Turkey around the same period, showcases monumental pillars and intricate carvings created by hunter-gatherers. Could these builders be linked to Atlantis? Perhaps their advanced skills were part of a remnant of that lost civilization. Other theories abound. Some suggest Atlantis sank in the Atlantic Ocean near the Azores or the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. Others point to the Aegean Sea, where the volcanic eruption of Santorini, Thera, around 1600 BCE, devastated the Minoan civilization, a possible seed for the Atlantis legend. Still others speculate that southern Spain near Cadiz, or even Antarctica, then a warmer habitable landmass, could have hosted Atlantis. Ancient maps like the Piri-Reis chart, showing parts of Antarctica and South America centuries before their official discovery, hint at knowledge of lands long hidden beneath ice. And what about the ruins discovered underwater? Near Bimini, pyramid-like structures align with Plato's descriptions of streets and walls. Off the coast of Japan, the submerged formations near Yonaguni display precise geometry that defies natural explanation. Similarly, Kambay in India reveals ancient city remnants beneath the sea. These findings suggest that humans were building impressive structures far earlier than traditional history admits. Randall Carlson's research connects these findings to the Younger Dryas, a period of abrupt climate cooling and global cataclysm around 12,000 years ago. Enormous floods scoured North America, leaving behind the Scablands' incredible geological evidence. Such events could have easily destroyed an advanced civilization like Atlantis, leaving only survivors scattered across the globe, passing their knowledge to future societies. This explains the sudden rise of pyramids, calendars, astronomy, and architectural sophistication across unconnected civilizations. Atlantis wasn't just a city, it was a center of knowledge. Astronomy, mathematics, engineering, and ecological wisdom were cultivated there. But power and greed grew, harmony with nature faltered, and the civilization's hubris invoked destruction. Plato's story is as much a warning as a history lesson. Greatness can crumble in an instant if arrogance and disregard for the natural order prevail. Even today, these lessons resonate. Humanity faces climate change, dwindling resources, and fragile societies. Atlantis serves as both a mirror and a cautionary tale. The search for Atlantis isn't only a quest for a lost city, it's a pursuit of lost knowledge, of understanding how advanced societies collapse, and what we might learn to prevent our own. The mysteries deepen with the enigmatic metal orichalcum, described as glowing reddish gold, used to adorn temples and palaces. Modern discoveries of similar alloys in shipwrecks hint that Plato's accounts may preserve fragments of real material culture, long lost to history. DNA studies further complicate the picture, revealing genetic links between widely separated populations that suggest ancient migration or common ancestry, possibly connected to seafaring Atlanteans. Cultural echoes, architectural parallels, and shared myths across continents point to a common source of knowledge. Whether Atlantis is ultimately proven real or remains a legend, the story has shaped humanity's understanding of itself, inspiring curiosity, exploration, and reflection. Atlantis embodies both what was lost and what we can aspire to reclaim: wisdom, harmony, and insight. Even as technology now allows us to probe ocean depths with precision, mapping nearly unexplored regions, the possibility remains that some remnants of this lost world lie beneath the waves, waiting for discovery. And when, or if, they are found, they may rewrite our understanding of human history, revealing a civilization of staggering sophistication, lost to the waters, but never truly forgotten. Atlantis is more than a tale. It is a bridge between myth, history, and the profound question of human potential. It challenges us to ask, what did humanity once know? And what might we rediscover if we dare to look beneath the surface, both of the oceans and of our own past? The answers may lie waiting, hidden for 12,000 years, in silence, beneath the waves. Beyond its sudden disappearance, the civilization of Atlantis thrived on innovation and knowledge that still baffles historians and scientists. Its cities were not merely functional. They were masterpieces of urban planning and engineering. Canals, aqueducts, and bridges connected the concentric rings, allowing water to flow efficiently, regulating temperature, and even creating spectacular fountains that symbolize both beauty and the mastery of hydraulic engineering. Roads were paved with polished stone, lined with luminescent materials, possibly orichalcum, giving a faint glow at night. This civilization understood physics and mechanics in ways that echo some of our modern achievements. At the heart of Atlantis, on the central island, rose the Great Temple. It was the seat of government, religion, and science, a place where philosophers, astronomers, and engineers converged. Ancient records describe towering statues, intricately carved columns, and walls adorned with frescoes depicting the stars, celestial events, and even distant lands. Some scholars speculate that Atlanteans had detailed knowledge of astronomy, mapping the planets and predicting eclipses with astonishing accuracy. Could they have used the stars for navigation across oceans before any other known civilization? The evidence hints at an unparalleled mastery of both terrestrial and celestial knowledge. The Atlantean people were also skilled in metallurgy. Orichalcum, the legendary metal, was mined from the island's core and refined into sheets, ingots, and decorative facings. Its reddish golden hue symbolized both wealth and sacred power. Temples, statues, and even defensive structures incorporated this metal, which Plato noted was second only to gold in value. Modern metallurgists debate its composition, some hypothesizing a copper-zinc alloy, while others suggest it contained elements now rare or lost to history. The fascination with orichalcum is not merely aesthetic. It implies a technological sophistication far ahead of its time. Trade was vital for Atlantis. Ships crafted from resilient woods, reinforced with bronze and other metals, connected distant ports across the Atlantic, Mediterranean, and possibly even the Americas. Atlanteans exchanged food, minerals, textiles, and knowledge with other emerging civilizations. Some historians suggest that the sudden explosion of knowledge in Egypt, Mesopotamia, and later Greece may have been influenced by survivors of Atlantis who migrated after its fall. The concept of written language, advanced agriculture, and even early mathematics might have roots tracing back to these seafaring pioneers. Atlantean society was hierarchical but remarkably advanced in governance. Kings, elected for life, ruled alongside councils of elders and scholars. Legal codes were strict, yet aimed at preserving order and wisdom. Education was universal for citizens, emphasizing philosophy, science, and martial training. Atlantean warriors were trained not merely for conquest, but for protection of the people. and knowledge. Their armories, though well stocked, were said to be secondary to their intellectual prowess, as Plato emphasized that moral decay rather than military failure led to their downfall. Religion in Atlantis blended spirituality and science. Temples celebrated celestial cycles, natural forces, and divine harmony. Priests were also scientists, astronomers, and record keepers, ensuring the alignment of rituals with cosmic events. Some suggest that Atlantean spiritual practices fostered meditation, observational astronomy, and even early forms of energy harnessing, an integration of mind, matter, and nature rarely seen in other contemporary societies. Despite its glory, the seeds of destruction were present. Plato describes the Atlanteans growing arrogant, seeking dominion over other lands, and turning away from the harmony that had sustained them. Moral corruption, combined with natural cataclysms, led to their demise. Earthquakes shattered cities, volcanic eruptions reshaped the landscape, and the oceans engulfed the island. Survivors scattered, carrying fragments of Atlantean culture and knowledge across the world. These refugees may have influenced the rise of civilizations in Egypt, Mesopotamia, India, and the Americas, leaving behind echoes of a lost technological and cultural legacy. Even the ocean floor holds whispers of this civilization. Sonar scans near the Azores, Bimini, and the Mediterranean reveal underwater structures resembling roads, walls, and foundations. Some formations appear perfectly geometric, suggesting intentional construction rather than natural formation. If confirmed, these discoveries could revolutionize our understanding of human history, challenging the assumption that complex societies only emerged 6,000 years ago. Atlanteans may have also possessed extraordinary maritime technology. Some theories propose that their ships use advanced navigation tools, possibly based on magnetic properties or celestial alignment, allowing them to traverse oceans with remarkable precision. Their exploration might explain the presence of Atlantean motifs and techniques in distant civilizations, from pyramids in Egypt to stone circles in Britain. Perhaps this explains the sudden, inexplicable leaps in architecture, mathematics, and astronomy observed in multiple ancient societies. Part of the allure of Atlantis lies in what remains undiscovered. Could caches of orichalcum, preserved libraries, or even artifacts of energy technology lie buried beneath sediment or hidden in unexplored underwater valleys? Modern explorers, using submersibles and sonar mapping, may yet uncover evidence. Every discovery has the potential to illuminate a lost chapter of human history, bridging myth and fact. Atlantis also serves as a cautionary tale. Its rise and fall reflect the delicate balance between human ingenuity and hubris. Knowledge and power, when misused or ignored, can vanish as quickly as it arose. In this sense, the story resonates today, urging civilizations to respect the environment, value knowledge, and preserve harmony with nature. Atlantis warns that even the mightiest societies are not immune to sudden collapse, whether from natural disaster or moral decay. Thus, the legend endures, bridging millennia. It is a narrative of triumph, innovation, morality, and catastrophe. A story both terrifying and inspiring. Atlantis is the lost mirror of humanity's potential, a civilization that reached heights of knowledge and artistry that still elude us. Its mystery remains unsolved, its lessons timeless, and its legacy a challenge. What might humanity achieve, and what might we lose if we fail to heed the echoes of Atlantis? Even after Atlantis sank beneath the waves, its influence rippled across the ancient world, Many myths, legends, and religious stories may carry fragments of Atlantean knowledge. The Greek myth of Poseidon, the god of the sea, ruling over a powerful island kingdom, could reflect collective memories of the Atlantean civilization. Egyptian hieroglyphs depicting advanced engineering, astronomical observation, and ritualized mathematics may have been inspired by Atlantean refugees who migrated into these societies. Similarly, legends of sunken cities in India, the Americas, and the Mediterranean could be echoes of Atlantis' demise, encoded into oral histories over millennia. Atlanteans may have also developed technologies lost to time. Some researchers theorize that their energy systems harnessed natural forces in ways that are still mysterious. Large crystal structures, conduits, and reflective surfaces found in alleged Atlantean ruins suggest they might have manipulated light, heat, or other forms of energy, possibly for illumination, communication, or even defensive purposes. Plato hinted at the Atlanteans' mastery over the environment, and some modern scientists speculate that these systems may have been early forms of renewable energy technology, an extraordinary leap for any ancient civilization. Artifacts with unknown purposes have been discovered across the globe, from intricately carved stones in South America to metal objects buried in the Mediterranean seabed. Some of these items appear technologically advanced for their time, leading some to wonder whether they were Atlantean tools, instruments, or components of larger machines. Could the sudden advancements in metallurgy, mathematics, and astronomy observed in ancient civilizations have been a legacy of Atlantean invention? While much remains speculative, the similarities between distant cultures suggest some shared source of knowledge, possibly Atlantis. The mystery of Atlantis has also inspired explorers and scientists in the modern era. Sonar mapping, underwater drones, and geological surveys have uncovered submerged structures that resemble city foundations, roads, and walls. The Bimini Road near the Bahamas, underwater formations near the Azores, and the Plato Plateaus in the Mediterranean are all candidates for remnants of Atlantean engineering. Some structures display precise geometry and construction techniques that challenge the notion of purely natural formation. Could these be the final remnants of a civilization that vanished thousands of years ago? Atlantis' story also shapes human imagination. Writers, philosophers, and inventors have drawn inspiration from its legend, using it as a symbol of lost knowledge, utopia, and catastrophe. It serves as both caution and inspiration, demonstrating the fragility of civilization and the heights humanity might achieve when intellect, morality, and creativity converge. In modern times, Atlantis has fueled research into alternative histories, ancient technologies, and unexplored oceans, bridging the gap between myth and science. Some theorists propose that Atlantis' knowledge survived in secret societies, passed down through generations. Ancient texts, coded manuscripts, and mysterious artifacts hint at a hidden repository of Atlantean wisdom, from mathematics and astronomy to energy systems and engineering. While most of this remains speculative, the notion persists that fragments of this lost civilization could one day be rediscovered, potentially reshaping our understanding of history. Atlantis also raises profound philosophical questions. How much knowledge can a civilization accumulate before it self-destructs? Can advanced technology coexist with morality and balance? Could Atlantis have survived if its people had maintained harmony rather than succumbing to arrogance? These questions echo today as humanity grapples with environmental challenges, technological growth, and ethical dilemmas. Atlantis is not merely a legend, it is a mirror reflecting both the potential and vulnerabilities of civilizations, ancient and modern alike. Ultimately, the legend of Atlantis endures because it resonates across time. It is a story of innovation, morality, exploration, and catastrophe. It reminds us that human potential is immense but fragile, and that knowledge alone is not enough to ensure survival. Atlantis teaches that civilization is a living system, dependent on harmony, wisdom, and respect for nature, a lesson still vital in the 21st century. Even as the oceans guard its secrets, Atlantis continues to inspire curiosity, discovery, and wonder. Every sonar ping, every archaeological dig, and every interpretation of ancient texts is a chance to glimpse the legacy of a civilization that may have reached beyond its time. The myth endures because its message is timeless. The heights humanity can reach are limitless, yet fragile. And the past often whispers warnings we would do well to hear.